Not all simple things are straightforward. It would be quite easy but not necessarily simple if I handed you a spoon and instructed you to dig a hole 9 feet deep into compacted soil. Before starting the video, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe and press the bell icon. Similarly, you'll discover that some of these straightforward methods are straightforward but challenging. But really, you're strong enough to handle the task, right? 1. Be more productive and diligent than your rivals. Determine who your rivals are. How arduous is their labor? What unique qualities can you offer your company or the market? Work smarter to start. If your work isn't productive at generating cash, working harder is pointless because you'll just be wasting your time. Selling ice cream cones on your front lawn in the dead of winter is pointless. Instead, put up a stand in the hot summer at the park. You get the idea. Your effectiveness can be considerably increased by making simple, sensible modifications. Work more diligently than others are willing to. Everyone has witnessed the employee who puts in more effort than anybody else at the office. They may be a touch nerdy or overly enthused about their work, but are they really? They might be onto something. Since they are the ones receiving the promotions, shouldn't they? They essentially become the center of the office, don't they? 2. Acknowledge your errors and move forward. They are created by all. We all do, you and I included. And trust me, I've done some dreadful things. Would you fall for 2 dud multi-level marketing schemes? Would you invest $8,000 in a venture for an online business just to lose everything? These are just a few of the numerous financial mistakes I've made when making investments. It's hard to accept mistakes. I believe that when we as humans realize we have messed up, our natural instinct is to place the blame somewhere else, either on other people or external factors. The best course of action is to acknowledge that we dropped the ball. Are you able to own up to your mistakes? When confronted with their own shortcomings, some people become self-critical. Do you know what that accomplishes? They get paralyzed and are unable to take the actions necessary to succeed. Therefore, own your mistake and move on. Yes, it's easier than you might think, especially with practice. One of the finest things you can do if you are still in the midst of a debt error is to switch your balance to a credit card with a 0% APR to stop paying interest. Instead of making significant interest payments, you will have more time to work hard on paying off that debt. Millionaires don't give up despite a few careless errors. They continue to move in that direction. 3. Create something new that you would adore, and don't be afraid to try anything new. You can study book after book about how to conduct market research to find the perfect product for your target audience, but by the time you deliver it, they'll already be tired with it. If you're an entrepreneur like me, make sure to work on things you're enthusiastic about. If you produce something that you'd use and adore, chances are that others would, too. Millionaires are aware that some of the best ideas don't result from extensive research but rather from a passion for improving the world. 4. Develop a budget, or at the very least, get assistance. I guarantee you will lose money if you don't budget because you will overspend. Do you want to become ill? Write down the total amount you spend on clothing, electronics, eating out, and other luxuries. Create a budget after that. Examine your spending after a year and contrast it with your starting tally. Yikes! Try to keep your meal with you. Making sure your spending is under your income is a crucial aspect of budgeting. And tracking everything is the only way to accomplish it, my friends. It's acceptable if you're not a spreadsheet person. Just be certain you have assistance. Start investing today. It's easier than you might think. Millions frequently become millions through investing and continue to remain wealthy. What is good news? Actually, it's quite easy. If you're new to investing, Betterment is a terrific place to start. They think investing doesn't have to be difficult and that more people would invest if there was a simpler method to do it. There are only 3 choices you need to make with Betterment: how much money to invest, how frequently, and how your money should be split between stocks and bonds. There are more ways to begin investing. As you get more experienced, personal capital, for instance, can assist you in managing your investment accounts. 6. Ignore pessimistic observers. You won't likely become a millionaire once you realize that you won't. Instead, you'll likely settle for the mundane. Your future is greatly influenced by your views about it, which will also play a role in shaping it. After all, your ideas influence your behavior, and your behavior influences your results. When you pay attention to pessimistic individuals, you enable them to achieve their objective of bringing you down and preventing you from surpassing their achievement. Very bad. 7. Put aside a portion of your money for emergencies. If you have spent any significant amount of time on this world, you are aware that horrible things do occasionally occur. Additionally, a number of negative things can occasionally occur simultaneously. Talk about force of will. I advise you to set aside a portion of your salary for emergencies because of this. Emergencies in medicine can last for years. Trees may penetrate roofs. Jobs can disappear. Avoid being caught without a reserve for emergencies. I heard. What does any of this have to do with making $1 million? I'll explain. You're more likely to incur debt, a terrible idea, or borrow money from family members, a very bad idea, if you have an emergency and don't have some liquid cash saved up in a savings account like one from Capital One 360. Be the guy who doesn't owe his parents anything. Don't be the married couple who becomes bankrupt. Consider debt to be investing's complete opposite. Instead of you investing in businesses, businesses are investing in you and trying to get as much money out of you as they can. People, the news is horrible. Many experts advocate having 3 to 6 months' worth of spending in your emergency fund. In difficult times, I advise aiming for 8 months. Go out and make $1 million. Yes, a lot of these approaches are shockingly easy. They are simple to comprehend. Making them is a different story. But you have my support. Keep in mind that pursuing millionaire status is okay. But refrain from doing it for the fame. For your family's sake, pursue it. For your neighborhood, pursue it. For a goal bigger than yourself, pursue it. Like, share, subscribe and comment.